Good morning, everyone. It is 7 minutes after the hour of 8 a.m. It's Saturday. It's April 6th, this 2024. And I'm sorry, Shane, I just got you off of Skype.
What?
I forgot I had to record the show, so I minimized you and it kicked you off. So we'll get you.
I can see you fine.
Oh, can you? Okay, well, good. Well, that's okay. As long as you can see me, that's the important part. So, Tom Eaglehoff, your morning mayor in the House, unanimously elected, of course, by the people of the Gallatin Valley and Park County and points east and west. And Shane Montalban, he's half man, half amazing. Made a killing in the automotive industry. He invented the hood ornament and got out just in time. Good job, Shane.
Yeah, I didn't look too good on the front of a car.
Well, the old ones it did, so...
Yeah, that's right.
Well, Shane, it would probably be easier to tell the days that aren't national days today. we got eight of them.
Right.
We got 8 of them today. We got the International Day of Sport for Development and Peace. Good luck with that one. We've got National Tartan Day. You know what tartan is, Shane? Isn't that some Irish thing or something or whatever?
Yeah, the colors of the clan.
Yeah, the clan colors or something like that. So if you got a tartan around, not to be confused with a tarp, I guess, but if you got a tartan around somewhere, you can wear it around today. If you're a student athlete, it's National Student Athlete Day, and we've got the Final Fours for women and the men's coming up here this weekend, so student athletes, go for it. It's also National Handmade Day, so if you make things at home for fun or profit, good kudos to you on National Handmade Day. And, of course, Shane, it's National Love Our Children Day. You got a couple of rugrats in your family, so love your kids today.
I love them every day, every moment.
Yeah.
Every second I'm alive. Yep.
Yeah, well, I was in the military. I don't have any that speak English anyway, so... It's also International Pillow Fight Day. Pillow Fight Day, Shane. So if you want a pillow fight with your kids, you can do that.
It's a creative game. It was great. And then they had that game that you spun the colors and stood on the circles.
Did Twister? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also Plan Your Epitaph Day, Shane.
I don't want an obituary.
I know. Mine's closer than I hoped. National Caramel Popcorn Day, Shane. So there you go. Up and at 'em with
Fabulous
that one.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the texters are starting early, Shane, from our text line, 406-478-8298. Write it down. Remember it forever. January jobs report, double expectations, 353,000 jobs added. You left out the part where 25% of those are government jobs. And the best economy in 60 years. Well, tell that when you go to the grocery store.
Yeah, that's right.
see if that'll work out for you. So, well, President Trump, ex-President Trump, former President Trump, I guess, got a big fundraiser going on, Shane, or planned for this weekend. Going to supposedly double whatever Biden made. Got all the Las Vegas big cats and all the movers and shakers on the Republican side with big bucks getting ready to get together. They don't need celebrities.
Yeah, five of the Las Vegas billionaires, including Wynn.
Yeah. And who's the other guy? The former Secretary of Commerce. I can't remember his name now. I saw it this morning and hadn't thought about it.
Yeah.
But,
well, they're all dancing to the tune, and over 55 million they said already has been committed to the Mar-a-Lago Party of the Year, baby.
Yeah, I don't have to rent that venue, do I?
Yeah, the Ballinger and Dom Perignon will be flowing tonight.
Amen to that. Yeah. So, well, Trump and several co-defendants of a New York civil fraud case posted their $175 million bond on Monday after an appeals court ruled they didn't have to come up with $464 million to block Attorney General Letitia James from seizing the assets. And the pressure has been heating up over the past month for the presumptive Republican presidential nominee to come up with the cash or find a bonding company willing to cover the approximately $454 million judgment that Trump and several of his business entities face. So, we got.
Well, he did that. He found one. He found one in Florida, which is registered in New York with over $1 billion in assets. And they interviewed the fellow, and he said, "Well, this was easy. It was cash. He gave us cash. We put the bond up."
Yeah.
But not good enough for Letitia James in New York. She's ordered the judge that has been her puppet to stay the payment so that she can go after him. And he agreed to. Of course, they're appealing that stupidity because Trump's already posted the bond. So
true. Yeah. So
it's over.
So, yep, I think that's probably a done deal. And Judge Arthur Engoron imposed the judgment, which includes interest after concluding Trump got better loan and insurance terms by fraudulently inflating the value of his assets over several years. And that's been a bone of contention for a long time, Shane, because it's up to the lending institution to determine if the value of the assets are accurate or not.
That's right. He wasn't lending them the money; they were lending him.
That's right. Yeah.
And they're public banks, publicly traded, so they have a, they have a liability issue and due diligence issue, and they did it. And he had an exclusion in every contract he signed that don't accept our valuation, do your own.
Yeah.
And there's no harm, no foul. This is the worst case of no victim. In the war, the court war that the Democrats are waging, this is the best, buddy.
Yeah.
No victim, but we're going to do it anyway.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm going to say everybody got their money, but if there was any fraud, I guess since it would be on the bank's fault, because if they had determined that the value of the properties was inaccurate, they could have raised the interest rate, but didn't. So
of course,
it's on them. So,
and it's an open-ended interest rate on any kind of commercial loan. Meaning, if interest rates go up, it goes up too. It wasn't locked in.
Yeah. Well, it looks like President Biden and former President Trump are set for a rematch this November after becoming their party's presumptive nominees, but they're also facing a relatively notable third-party challenger in RFK Kennedy Jr. So the polls are all over the place, Shane.
Yeah, they are.
This deal. Kennedy's been averaging close to 10% in polling, but he's not in many states yet. He's got to pick them up and lay them down to get in more states, and particularly the battleground states of Nevada and Pennsylvania and Wisconsin and Ohio and all that. So
well, it's important to note a couple of things. We see them telling us that the difference is 3.5%, or it's in the margin of error. And the reason for that is every 1% represents 1 million votes. So 1% is 0.5% is huge. That's it. That was the last election, 500,000 votes.
Yeah. From our text line, 406-478-8298, two things come to mind about the New York case. Eighth Amendment, excessive bail. Yeah, excessive bail, cruel and unusual punishment, Shane. I think.
You think?
I think you could make an argument that $500 million is a little excessive, and cooler heads prevailed on that.
When you consider everyone else in New York gets no bail. They get just released. Murderers.
Yeah.
Serial killers, rapists, thieves, crooks.
Yeah. That's right.
The citizens need to be challenged. We have to go and we have to force a bond on citizens, but not newcomers. Newbies, as I say.
And who gets the money, Shane, with this bond? Where does that go?
Right.
Who gets the money?
Well, the bondholder holds the money.
Yeah.
If it's paid out, it's paid out to the treasury of the state.
Yeah. I would. I don't know if it's. Well, I don't know.
Yeah,
if
it's a state action.
Well,
if it was a city action, it'd get paid to the city.
It'd go to the city, I guess, wouldn't it? Yeah. All right. Well, let's take some phone calls and see what the callers have to think. 406-522-TALK is the number, 406-522-8255. Caller, you are on the air.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Jerry, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, Tom. Thank you very much. And Shane, how about you? You doing all right up there?
Every time I hear your voice, Jerry, it makes me happy to know that you support us, because today's the last big show. So
Shane,
you got to say something good, buddy. That's it for
Shane.
Forever. What?
Stop.
It is. It's the last show, so everyone should know we want to reminisce with everybody. So go ahead, Jerry. What's your question?
Why is it the last show?
Well, Jerry,
Tom's taking a job across town spinning records.
All right, I'm gonna have to shut Shane down on this, because we talked about this and we weren't going to announce anything until the end of the show. Yeah, I'm taking a job someplace else, and we'll talk about it in the last half hour of the show.
Oh my stars and bars.
I didn't want to spend the whole show talking about this being our last show.
Okay. Well, I have it.
So.
Well,
something to be proud of. Anyway, Jerry, what's your question, buddy?
Well, first, the statement I'd like to make is, Tom, you mentioned it's National Pillow Fight Day.
Pillow Fight Day, yeah.
Yeah.
Good grief. I have a problem then. I had a bad dream last night, and I dreamt I ate a 50-pound marshmallow, and I woke up and my pillow was gone. So
I know.
I'm running. Sorry.
That's a good old joke, Jerry.
Yeah.
And you know what they say, Jerry? Jerry, they say everything that goes in comes out brown.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good news. Yeah, I better take some X-Lax.
Yeah.
The first time unemployment claims went up 200 to 220,000. Right? And you just mentioned these jobs that came online.
Yeah.
300 and plus.
Yeah, 353,000, something like that, I think.
Yeah, Tom, you must send out that memo again to the President of the United States.
Yeah.
Because yesterday he said he created 15 million jobs.
Oh yeah.
And during the State of the Union speech, it was 14 million. So I'm really confused here about how they can get these numbers all screwed up. But that's the government for you. And by the way, there was a news report that 90,000 were cut from the Army and the Veterans Administration. Not to mention in the private sector, when California is going to initiate this $20 minimum wage, you know how many people are going to lose their jobs in a lot of these places? Come on. Gee whiz. It's really crazy. So I don't believe anything that comes out of the Labor Department or anybody else, because they'll revise the numbers in a month anyway.
Yeah.
They always do, yeah.
And Shane, I pose this question to you. Why is the Secretary of the Treasury over in China trying to make some sort of negotiation to stabilize or to improve China's economy along with ours? I thought our economy was fine. And why are we even over in China? Can you answer that?
My best bet is because of the issue with the debt they hold. That they're down under $1 billion to around 950, or $1 trillion to around 950 billion. And she just wants, I think, to say to them, give us notice. Don't just pound the market, because we'll buy it. The Treasury Department and or the Federal Reserve will buy whatever you want to sell. That's all they care about. They don't care that China's in a depression. It doesn't matter to them.
Well, if we continue the way we're going to be in one also, don't you think?
Well, I think we're in the perfect storm right now, and you have global sovereign wealth flowing into the United States, and about 50% of it is going into stocks, and we're talking about probably the top 200 to 6,000 stocks and commodities, and so yeah, I mean they're talking about Bitcoin going to $100,000.
Wow. Well, the last point I'd like to make is I'm not very happy with this administration and the way they're treating Israel. Israel made a mistake. People have paid the price in their, military. They're gone as far as their jobs are concerned. But during the fog of war, let's not forget what happened in Afghanistan under the Biden administration. If you guys can recall, an aid worker and his entire family was wiped out by a strike very similar to this one, and nothing was mentioned about it. As a matter of fact, they denied it until it came out that this had happened, and then they finally admitted that they had made a mistake. And I don't particularly appreciate people like Blinken, who is a anti-Semite and who has family tied to the Soroses, and he's all wrapped up in that sort of global anti-Israel rhetoric. I'm not happy with this.
Yeah, and it got worse this week because the United Arab Emirates, they suspended any relationship with Israel. So there's nowhere to negotiate with Hamas, number one. Number two, Hamas has never said they made a mistake. All they've said all along is that we want to destroy Israel. Why does everybody want Israel to say they're sorry?
Right. I agree wholeheartedly. And mistakes were made in the Biden administration, as I mentioned, and also in the Obama administration. There were some soldiers killed by a mistaken strike. Hey, guys, go back to the Second World War. We wiped out a military headquarters after the breakout in France. A bunch of bombers bombed the front lines thinking they were knocking out the Germans, but they knocked out a couple of hundred of us GIs. The fog of war. Hamas isn't very humanitarian when they did what they did on October 7th. So I don't understand all this pressure against Israel. Well, yes, I do. They're anti-Semites. These people hate Israel. They hate America, and all this hand-wringing is just I don't know. It's just against Israel, and I don't like it. I really don't. And let's not forget how John McCain warned during the appointment of Blinken during the Obama administration. McCain warned that this guy Blinken is a real problem. He's really dangerous, and he's in there now. So I don't particularly like where Blinken is going, nor Kirby, and even the President of the United States saying that Israel better change its humanitarian tactics, or he's not going to give them any kind of support, and that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Biden,
right.
Blinken, and nod.
Yeah, yeah, side by side at the table sat. Yeah, winking, blinking, and nod. Good.
Dumber and dumber.
Yeah, well, there's two also investigations that need to come forth on this bridge accident, and I haven't heard word one. Have you, Tom?
I haven't. Yeah. Well, I did know they found another survivor. There's still 3 or 4 missing, but they did recover the body of one worker there that was on the bridge. But one of a lot of people on Facebook were talking about that they've already got tunnels in that area. That they should probably build a tunnel rather than have this bridge going across there.
Right. Well, Tom, have you ever been through that area? There's a thing called the Chesapeake Bay and Bridge Tunnel.
Yeah.
You go under, you come up, you go under, and you come up, and it usually takes you to about north of Virginia Beach, because I was in it several times when I was stationed out there.
Yeah.
And here's another thing that came out in the news. There's missing minutes on this ship's black box.
Yeah. Was Nixon on board?
Pardon?
Was Nixon on board?
He may have been. Yeah, he may have been the skipper on that one, huh? Yeah.
There's other news that didn't come out and should have. The transportation department, run by your favorite mayor, it's got $1.2 trillion it's sitting on. For 20 years, there's been a law that the Army Corps of Engineers should have a 50 to 100 meter wall away from bridge, substructures to prevent this kind of an accident. And they announced they were going to do it back 4 years ago when Biden came in, but they never got to it apparently. So this could have been prevented.
Well, yeah.
By law,
the
it could
money
have been
probably.
prevented.
Well, they don't obey the laws anyway. The Supreme Court will rule on something, and they'll go walking around it, like they're trying to do again with another student loan debt forgiveness program up in Wisconsin. He was up there touting that. And by the way, gentlemen, let's not forget that this ship had a problem. I think I forget where it was overseas, and it had the same kind of a incident. It slammed into a pier or something like that. So this ship has had problems. And it's owned, the company that owns it, it has billions under their, under their belt. So this government shouldn't be shelling out any money at all whatsoever. Taxpayers shouldn't fund this bridge at all. The company, the shipping company should be, and their insurance should be paying for this, which they probably will in the end. But in the meantime, the federal government will throw some money at this.
Yeah.
So.
Well, they're going to pay the bulk of it probably, whatever the policy says. So, all right, got to go, Jerry.
Jerry, thank you forever. I want you to know I use my Swiss Army knife all the time. What a great gift! You're my buddy in my pocket every day.
I'll be tuning in for the final half hour. I want to see what this breaking news is.
All right, thanks. All right, that's going to wrap it up for this segment. Hey, it's 29 after the hour, Saturday, April 6, 2024. Tom and Shane will return right after the news at the bottom of the hour. Stay tuned. 27 minutes before the top of the hour. It is Saturday. It's April 6th. It's 2024. Thanks for joining us today, Tom and Shane, on Saturday. And let's see, Shane. Well, we talked a little bit about the three-way Kennedy race with most people think that Kennedy will take votes from Biden rather than the never-Trumpers going over to talk to him or vote for him.
Yeah, it's like what happened to Papa Bush in '88 or 90. Was it 88? 92. Sorry.
Yeah.
Against Clinton. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you had Ross Perot, and he took the votes, the Republican votes. So yeah, it's
and that's why the Democratic Party ran Bloomberg off in 20, because if he'd stayed in the race, Trump would have won.
Yeah. Well, let's see, from our text line, 406-478-8298, it says, let's see, I can invest in Apple stock. They have over $1 trillion in cash, or that new Trump gift stock that's been losing $58 million last year. You can't make this stuff up. Yeah, I wouldn't invest in the social media, Social First, or whatever his platform is there, Shane. I think that's a bad bet.
Well, it was nowhere near 50 million when they first set this up, which was a shell. They raised a little bit over 12 million. And the people that sold it to him spent that money. So, now they're battling over whether or not they should be entitled to the stock that Trump was kind enough to give them. We'll see where that ends up.
Mm-hmm. Unemployment record low, best economy in 60 years until I turn on talk radio and they say the economy sucks. Well, how many for the past 20 years on the air, I think we've been saying that presidents don't have anything to do with the economy. I mean, are you trashing Trump for it?
Well, the
giving him credit for it.
Yeah, the economy should yell racist for being identified as sucks. That's definitely not. Yeah, there you go. It's not that it sucks, but the condition that it's in relation to what we're being told is not the same thing. That's the issue.
Yeah. Trump's bond company doesn't have the cash to meet the bond. It gets funnier and funnier every week. So I hadn't heard that, Shane. I don't. know that that's true or
Well,
not.
but Trump doesn't have a bond company,
Yeah.
and his own company had the cash. We talked about this. Just from his brand, he makes 500 million a year. So he had the money. What had happened here was the judge had prevented him from getting a bond. Literally, I mean, he said you can't do business in the state. Your kids can't. You can't deal with a bank in the state. So, when the appellate court looked at this, they said, number one, like we said, there's no one was harmed here, so no harm, no foul. Number one, and no, they can operate, and yes, he can buy a bond in the state or anywhere else, any bonded company in the U.S. One thing we talked about years ago, if you remember, were how bondsmen hire bounty hunters, and they have more power than any police officer in your country.
Yeah. Senate President is going to subpoena the Secretary of State of Montana over abortion ballot issue, Shane. And this is going to happen in many states, I think, between now and November. The state of Montana Senate President has subpoenaed the Secretary of State in a move meant to create the opportunity for a group of lawmakers to weigh in on the proposed ballot initiative that would add the explicit right to access an abortion in the state constitution. So the ballot issue faced a tumultuous legal road over the last several months. Republican Attorney General Austin Knudsen found that the measure legally sufficient and rejected it. That action was overturned by the state Supreme Court, and then he rewrote the ballot measure in a way supporters said was argumentative, inaccurate, and prejudicial. The supporters went back to court. 6 justices on Monday unanimously rejected Knudsen's phrasing and wrote their own language, Shane. The Supreme Court wrote their own language for the ballot, moving the issue forward toward a signature gathering stage, and it's whether or not they can get the signatures in time, Shane, to get this done.
Well, if there's 3 things that are important. Number one, this is what the Supreme Court wanted done when they overturned Roe versus Wade, is for states to decide. It's happening across your country. 2, the Supreme Court in your state, like other states, is elected. Look out, guys, here it comes. And number 3, it won't matter about this issue. All that'll matter is the first 3 hours in the Northeast states on election night. And if there's any shift in any House seats or any Senate seats, that'll tell you how the election really is going to go. Within the first, like I said, 2 hours, you'll know whether it's going to be close or if it's over.
Well, certainly, it certainly seems that way, doesn't it? But
yeah, it does. I mean, it's just,
a lot of these states are going to be going through this on how to handle this abortion issue, because the Supreme Court left it to the states to decide what they want to do. So
yeah, and the Democratic Party, are you going to use this issue of abortion as coattails, to get people out and to stay with them and support them and vote for them? So that's why I say within the first 2 or 3 hours, we'll know on election night how it's going to go.
Well, we should. So, well, at least Florida will have their results before anybody else, probably. So.
Within 2 hours, baby.
I don't know. They seem to have a pretty good handle on how to handle this thing.
Well, all mail-in ballots have to be in within 2 weeks of the election, and they're reviewed and counted before the election, and they are the first ballots announced by the state that have been cast, and that's why Texas and Florida have got it right.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is the Democrats are really touting early voting because they want to be sure that things are still running smoothly before the stuff hits the fan, so to speak.
Well, you'll know by the end of April and May where it's at, because everyone will be. You can't chase the dog really after that for early in voting. So
yeah,
dead phone, deadline.
Yep. All right. Yep, it didn't pop up. So all right. Let's see. Talk radio claims Trump economy was great. Now Talk says it sucks. So I don't think we've ever said. I know a lot of the talking heads call it Trump's economy or Biden's economy, Bidenomics, but it's not. Presidents don't have that kind of clout. I'm sorry.
Well, they don't, but the Biden administration is claiming they do.
Yeah.
So
Well, yeah. Trump claimed he did too.
Now they have to live with it. Yeah. Well,
No,
his results and Biden's results you can compare on a wall chart, and no comparison. One's good, one's bad. That's it.
Well, as I just mentioned, the Supreme Court released its revised ballot language on Monday to describe a constitutional abortion rights amendment that voters may consider this fall, rejecting Austin Knudsen's version. The unanimous ruling by 6 judges moved the initiative supporters Montana securing reproductive rights. Reproductive rights. What a joke that is. And so it's a question of whether or not they can get the necessary signatures to get it on the ballot or not. So, if you run into a signature gatherer, I would suggest that you be polite and decline. So.
Well, if Knudsen and the Supreme Court of Montana can't get it together, it won't be on the ballot, like you just said, right?
Yeah.
Then there's no issue.
Well, that's where we stand. So.
Yes, sir.
Well, this is going to be a national mess, Shane. It's because the closer this gets to the election, the more this abortion is going to rise to the top, and that's going to be a real issue for whoever's going to run. Whoever the 2 deciding candidates finally are. So we'll see.
Well, it's the only issue left for the Democrats to run on, and as I crowned them, the demolition party, 6-8 years ago, they're following through. Like they always overdo it. The Democrats always overdo it.
Oh yeah, no, that's their.
that's their.
That's why they're Democrats.
Glory. Yeah.
Let's take a phone call. 406-522-TALK is the number. 406-522-8255. Caller, you are on with Tom and Shane. What's going on?
Yes, good morning, gentlemen. I have 2 scenarios here.
Sure.
Sort of questions and stuff. And, these last 10 days, I've seen a remarkable downturn in Biden's physical appearance and, shuffling around and stuff. But let's say that Tuesday morning, we have another Bay of Pig incident. And on Wednesday morning, all the generals will be, mustered, come in, and what are we going to do? Can you imagine Patton or MacArthur sitting down with him, to figure out a plan?
Mm-hmm.
No.
And that's plain old scary. That's plain old scary.
Well, there you are.
The only nuclear incident we should be concerned about is North Korea. They fired another missile into the Sea of Japan in the last week. And as I've said, that's an armistice. There was never a truce. I mean, it was a truce by armistice. There was never a final treaty signed. So if he makes any motion or move against anybody, whether it's South Korea or Japan, the world's at war because they're all committed to defend South Korea.
We're very close to something happening. But secondly, on a much more somber point is, I just want to ask this. This sounds terrible, but I think that we're coming to that. Our entire system is broken no matter what corner of this, not just the economy, but education, healthcare, criminal justice, everything. So when are we going to dive into anarchy? Is it going to be 6 months, 12 months, or 18 months? That's all I have. Thank you.
All right. Well, that is a wonder, Shane. We're all wondering when the other shoe's going to drop, I guess. So.
Oh, it's already dropped. It's dropped in all the Democratic cities: Chicago, Baltimore, New York. It's anarchy.
Yeah.
And people are running around killing people. The death reports from Chicago are just stunning. They're worse than reports you got for 20 years from, being in Afghanistan and Iraq and So yeah, this isn't something of when, it's happening now.
Yeah. So let's take another call. 406-522-TALK is the number. Caller, you are on with Tom and Shane. What's up?
Morning, guys. This is Steve.
Hey, Steve.
You know, in answer to the last lady's question, Klaus Schwab says what we got to do is we got to get rid of the white European race in the white North American race because we don't follow their directions very good.
Yeah.
Well, these are the money changers that our Constitution says we're not allowed in America. And so December 23rd, midnight, 1913, two congressmen stayed back and voted in the Federal Reserve Act, which is not federal, and they don't have any reserves. Everything in America is collateral to that national debt. And you see what Biden or whoever is running this show, it ain't him, is we've gone $2 trillion in debt in 3 or 4 years. So I don't know. I think that it's highly likely that World War III will happen, but it won't be over there. So I don't know, but I'm suggesting that everybody, they better have some guns and better have plenty of ammunition because it's probably coming.
Well, as I've always said, Montana will be the last state to go down because we're all armed.
Well,
and I can assure you there won't be a World War III. You know, in the Cold War, it was mutual assured destruction because of nuclear war.
Yeah.
And today, it would just be mutual assured destruction of capitalism, and the whole world's embracing that now. China and Russia, in particular. So I could see a major land battle being fought, indirectly, like I said, like in North Korea with all the Western allies, but.
Well, the other thing
else.
too, Shane, is Ukraine is poised to go into NATO. Now, if that happens, and a lot of people think it will before long, one attack on one is an attack on all. So all these countries would have to come to Ukraine's defense if they are admitted to NATO.
Well, that's not going to happen. Europe's not going to vote itself into war, Tom.
Well, we'll find out. They created NATO to protect themselves from another war, Shane. So
and they prevented it.
Am I still on there?
Destruction.
Yeah, you are, Shane. Yeah, you are, Steve. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, one thing about it is we have a Constitution. Article 3 of the Constitution, the judicial branch was not allowed to be attorney. They were outlawed for being in America because they were tied to the English bar, which we were breaking away from. And what did we do? We let them in America. We're supposed to be under God's law, which is capital C, capital L, common law, not small c, small l, is case law that's handed down by them. And so we have these judges running everything in America and telling we can't do this, we can't do that. We were supposed to be under biblical law, and we the people are sadly informed, and so I don't know whether World War III is going to be here or not. But I think if we don't follow the Creator's laws, we're in deep trouble. Well, anyway, that's all I got.
All right, thanks, Steve. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. Thanks for listening. 10 minutes to go till the top of the hour. Gallatin County Commissioners joined with counties across Montana in signing a letter supporting Bill 442. The bill allocates state marijuana revenue to counties to help take care of roads and veterans and other issues, I believe. It was passed during Montana's 2023 legislative session with support from 130 of the 150 lawmakers, and it was vetoed by Greg Gianforte right around the time the Senate adjourned in a surprise motion, and leading to a protracted court battle to afford Montana legislatures the chance to override the veto. So we'll see where that stands. That's another thing that could be on the ballot chain, and I think it comes down to whether these abortion issues are going to override the economy and crime in these larger cities where they primarily vote Democrat. I don't see them changing their votes, but some of these minorities are talking about we're going to the other side. Just not going to tell our friends about it.
That's right. And the poll numbers show that Trump's at 38% favorability with Hispanics, and he's nearing 20% favorability with African Americans. Even half of that amount on either side, 12 and 18% on Hispanics, 12 on in African, he wins. So this is the most important thing I'm watching are these polls. And the reason it's becoming more and more profound is even the woke media and their polls are telling them the same thing. So these numbers, no matter how close or far apart, might, like in the realm of air or whatever you want to call it, anything over 10% African American, anything over 14% Hispanic, Trump wins.
Yeah. From our text line, 406-478-8298. Hi, Tom and Shane. I don't fully understand your theory that presidential actions don't affect the economy. Can the acts of a Congress and a president affect investment and market confidence? That's from our nice listener, Dwayne. I would say that the day-to-day actions of the president don't have any effect on the economy. Now, there are certain bills. For example, if Congress were to take 230 away from social media, that's the one that says social media is not liable for what they post. That would tank, social media stocks if that happened. So, yes, in some cases, you could point to the forcing down our throats of electric vehicles. Mandates, they have to, no more gas powered vehicles by whatever, name your date. Now, those are things that could affect, that the president and Congress can do that could directly affect your way of life. But their day-to-day operation, inflation is, is too much money chasing too few goods. So is that the president's fault?
That's right. And in the last 50 years, the global economy, revolved around the U.S. economy, China, Germany, Italy, Japan, and South Korea. Those were the 5 biggest economies. They maintained the global economy. And only until the last 30 years when, China tried to make a run at it. But they're now in collapse. And the country that's expanding the fastest now is India, with 8.6% growth in 2023. Huge. So there's a rerouting of everything. But the important thing is that capitalism is continuing to expand globally. So we'll see how it goes. But the movers and shakers probably will move up and down, the rail as far as the biggest or most important. The game-winning signal for capitalism is consumerism. Whoever creates the largest consumer market wins.
Yeah. From our text line, 406-478-8298, gasoline is up around $100.60 a gallon. Yeah, it went up again over the weekend, or starting the weekend, I should say. Grocery prices up 20%, 30% actually. Interest rates for home and vehicle purchases are up. insurance rates for
yeah,
two major wars going on. Sorry, I can't read. And all since Biden took office. If you think you're better off under Biden than Trump, I've got a good psychiatrist that I can recommend to you. I was going to say, I got a bridge in Baltimore you might want to buy.
That's right.
Okay. The cloud is there with energy restrictions. So, yeah, so that may turn out to be something. But people, I think the luster's off the lily, Shane, for the electric cars because there's one of the biggest reason people cite for not buying them is there's no charging stations. Or not enough of them anyway. Yeah. So
2023, more used cars were sold in the U.S. and Canada, the United States. And the biggest prize winner, 55% of the used car market, electric cars.
There you go.
So there you go. It's a rounded dead issue.
It's a loser.
It's a loser, baby.
All right. All right, still 2 full hours to go. Wow, time flies when you're having fun, isn't it? So we'll be back. So, hey, stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. 7 minutes after the hour. It's April 6th. It's 2024. We're happy to be here with you. Final Four this weekend. Basketball for the men and the women. Big games on the docket. So hopefully you'll enjoy this weekend. Baseball's in full swing. So spring and summer can't be far behind. So we're having a good time. So. Well, in case you haven't heard, the I-90 speed limit is going to be lowered to 65 miles per hour in the Bozeman area. And the reason for that is that because we have reached 50,000 population, it's a state law in an urbanized area that the speed limit for vehicles traveling on interstate highways is 65 at all times. So I think... the boys in blue or brown, whatever you think, the boys with the 777 shield on there will be out to get you if you exceed 65 miles. And that's going to be from mile marker 303, which is approximately 2 miles west of the 19th Avenue exit, to mile marker 313 near the Bear Canyon exit. So it's just going to be the 3 exits going into Bozeman. So those of you who are traveling from Manhattan or Three Forks or whatever, just remember you got to calm down, even if you're late for work, unless you want a ticket. So, and,
is the speed limit the same for the frontage road on the north side?
The speed limit, I think, on that is 65, I think. It might be 70 over there. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I've been on the frontage road, so. But
they get busy.
Yep, they do get busy. So yeah, the let's see. I think this is already in place. I don't see a date here. April 5th. So yesterday they started. So. Signs should be there to let you know, but be careful out there because, hey, not fun. Well, Meta, better known as Facebook, I guess, to a lot of you, they're going to label their content that's generated by AI, artificial intelligence, and only remove AI content that violates other policies, according to an update released yesterday. They say it plans to start labeling AI content next month and will stop removing content solely on the basis of our manipulated, easy for me to say, video policy in July. So there you are.
The policy's the same.
Yeah.
So the policy's the same at their discretion.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we're going to do whatever we want to do, whether you like it or not.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
From our text line, 406-478-8298, the guy posting Trump's bond doesn't have it. Color me surprised. So I'm not surprised if the guy posted or that Trump doesn't have the money. I don't know.
That's just not true.
Yeah.
Go look it up.
Yeah.
The company providing the bond has $1 billion in assets, cash.
Yeah,
cash.
they're doing all right. So.
And they interviewed him, and he said on television, Trump brought him cash. Why wouldn't I cover the bond?
Yeah.
It's
so you're not. It wasn't overinflated cash. It was well, it might have been inflated dollars.
Well, I finally can say this, texter, you're wrong, and get your facts straight before you even take the time to text.
Yeah. Fun fact, global gas prices are on the rise. Global oil prices are on the rise, I should say. Domestic oil production at record levels. The U.S. has record level energy independence. No, we don't. Stuff you won't hear on this side of the text. So.
Yeah, well, the reason they're on the rise is because Israel attacked Syria, and the Iranian embassy blew it up, killed several of Iranian's generals, and they've threatened since that happened to, retaliate, and they haven't. If they do, there goes, Korg Island or whatever, and the Iranian oil industry. So Iran is in no position to do anything to anybody except third party.
Yeah, not right now.
Except.
Anyway.
Yeah, except through a third party.
Well, as long as we keep sending them money, they can keep they keep doing the terrorist thing. So, what could be better than that? I mean, come on, let's go.
Well, it's astounding. Is the reason that the price of oil is going up is India, not China.
Yeah.
So China's oil imports have dropped drastically in the last year and will continue.
Yeah.
But they made it a big announcement this week, Thomas. 20%. Of their populations over 65, which basically is a lie because of the Mao one baby policy for 50 years. And so, China is in decline in economically, population-wise, industrial-wise. They're in a
they're in
real
trouble.
Big,
I'm so glad Biden called G last week or this week. So I'm sure they're getting their act together, and peace will be happening soon. So
I think he called them because they didn't send the other 5 million.
Well, I don't know. From our text line 406-478-8298, who knew the executive branch controlled energy, tariffs, and justice, and student debt? Well, there are some things that they control. Certainly, they control all of the socialist programs. So, I'm not sure how that affects the markets, quite honestly.
Environmental guidelines they can choose to endorse. But, of course, your president said, we're going to need oil for a long time. Ha ha. Yeah. And the other reality is the student debt you already own. He's just taking it off the books to gain votes, and that's not good. That's not good policy.
Yeah, there you go. All right, let's take another phone call. 406-522-TALK is the number, 406-522-8255. Let's get the call going over there. Caller, you're on with Tom and Shane.
Yeah, this is Clint.
Hey, Clint.
Say, I'm going to miss you guys.
Well, we're going
to miss you, Clint.
We're not going to talk about that till the end of the show, Clint.
Well, I just wanted to tell you that.
I appreciate it, but move on to something else.
I've enjoyed you all the years. But what I got to say today is pretty important, I think.
Yeah.
I wanted to, before I died, I thought maybe it'd be kind of nice to be a judge in the elections.
Well, there you go. Yeah, do that.
I thought that would be a great idea.
You and Judy would be ideal for that.
Yeah. Well, I went into the fairgrounds in Building 4, and Eric Semeride was in there and his girl.
Yeah.
Teaching us how to be a judge.
Yeah.
Well, something came up about the people that came here to vote, and they came here to go to school and one thing and another.
Right.
Okay, it said that the kids that go to school up there can come in and go down and bring a power bill or something and an address and whatever, and register to vote within 30 days. That's the law, within 30 days. And I'm saying to myself, well, how many of these kids are state citizens how many of these kids are American citizens? And I asked that question. And I says, well, it looks to me like if they came here to vote on a bond issue and whatever, and produced their phone bill or whatever, power bill, and proved that they were here for 30 days, they could be from Timbuktu. And I kind of got into it with them because what has happened here is these folks at the college, and I ain't cussing them or anything, but they get to vote on bond issues and stuff that you, Tom, and I have to pay on various different land issues. And some of them are from this state, most of them are not. They're from other states. Well, they can vote on that, and then when the presidential election vote comes up for vote, they can also come and vote here, whether they're American citizen or not. And they can also, from where their home state might be, their election, their first time their election comes up, they could vote there also. I got into it with them with that. Well, what I found out was this: the state of Montana Constitution. I want to read this to everybody. It's in Article 4, and it's Section 2, qualified electors. Any citizen of the United States, 18 years of age or older, who meets the registration and resident requirements provided by law is a qualified elector, unless he is serving a sentence for a felony or whatever, and until as of unmined and determined by the court. Okay, these folks are voting, and they're not American citizens, and they're not state citizens. And that's been proven, and that's one of the things Trump was talking about. And so what I'm saying is, what are we going to do about this? When a person can come to our colleges, which we have a fine college here, can come to this college and go down within 30 days, they got to be here 30 days, and register to vote, and they don't have to be an American citizen.
Wow. Well,
That's
I've heard in some
me,
areas, Clint, I've heard in some areas that illegals can vote in state elections and local elections, just not federal.
The federal Constitution, it says the same thing as the state Constitution. You have to be 18 years and,
And a citizen.
I don't know where they've amended it. Do you?
We haven't had an amendment to the Constitution since.
That's right.
79, I think, or 78.
And it says the federal Constitution says you must be an American citizen before you can
exactly.
vote. Well,
so Clint, does the paperwork submit that they have to submit say anything about them voting twice? In other words, sending a mail-in ballot to their home state? Does it say they can't do that, or does it say that they haven't done that?
Well, that's what Trump was bitching about, and Mike Lindell, that's on the My Pillow guy, he was bitching about it too, also, because they can vote here and vote in their states when their primaries come up. Now, if you notice, there's a few primaries in few states, 7 or 8 of them already came up. Okay, these kids that are here in Montana State University, they could come and vote here June 6th, and when their primaries come up, or if they already have, they've already voted there, and then they can vote here.
Yeah.
That's not right.
Well, it's not right, but how are you going to keep track of it? I mean, unless you tell people you're from somewhere else, or if you walk up with a Montana driver's license and you came from West Virginia, you're still on the voter rolls there. So where's the trigger unless they actually tell the the election people, hey, I'm registered to vote in 2 places.
Well, what you should do, what we should have, and I don't care who it is when you go to register to vote, to prove where you was born and if you're an American citizen. Yeah. And if you're not, and if you haven't become an American citizen, you don't vote.
Yeah.
Now, that would be up to your local office.
Now, did they say any? He's
the head of the voting here in town.
Yeah.
We had quite an argument outside over this here. And I'm telling you, the people of Gallatin Valley are paying for bond issues that was voted in by people that don't live here, maybe not even from this country, and not an American citizen.
Mm-hmm.
You follow me? And we're paying for that, and then they leave or go somewhere else. Now, that's not right.
Yeah. Did they say anything about you don't have to be a citizen to vote in federal elections?
Well, the federal government says you have to be an American citizen.
That's what I'm thinking too. That it's going to override the state constitution.
And the states cannot override what that federal government put out as laws to the states.
Yeah.
They can't override it. And the states now, I've got state constitution right in my hand. It was formed in March 22nd of 1972. And I know some of the people that signed this constitution also. But the thing is, we the people, we the taxpayer of this county are getting screwed by people that don't even belong here and get to vote here on our bond issues and everything else.
Yeah.
And if you notice on that, when you get your tax bill from the county, we got the second deal here not too long ago, cost us another bunch of money. But anyway, if you notice on there, the bond issues on the left side of that tax bill is what these people that vote on, that's in the universities and stuff, that isn't even citizens. Okay, and you and I, Tom, we're the guys that's paying for this.
Yep, you're right.
And the guy in Beaverhead County, the legislator, or not legislator, but the county commissioner in Beaverhead County says 60% of our tax bills are going to schools. He says, where is the other 40% going? Well, I just answered him where the other 40%'s going. It's put in there by people that aren't from this state. A lot of them aren't. Some of them are. Some of them are citizens. Some of them aren't. And that's got to be changed. Because if it don't, it's driving us taxpayers. It'll drive us. We'll have to force us to sell our homes and leave because of the rules and regulations and the taxes that's being put upon the people and the reappraisals of our land.
Yep.
And we've created our own demise, and we better check it and get it done.
Yep.
But that's all I got to say, Tom,
all right, man.
And Shane, and I really am going to miss you
guys. Thanks for the call. I appreciate it. All right. Caller, you're on with Tom and Shane. What's going on?
Hi. I was just listening to your conversation with Clint, right?
Yeah.
And the problem is that when you want to go vote, the ID you show, if you're even required to show ID, is your driver's license. And the driver's license doesn't say whether or not you're a citizen. And so anybody can come here and get a driver's license, especially in places like California, and other states. New York, I think, does the same thing. Anybody can get a driver's license, and unless it says on that driver's license this person is not a citizen, then there's no way the people running the voting can tell whether you're a citizen or not. And obviously, if you're not a citizen voting in an election, you're not going to say, hey, I'm not a citizen, but I'm voting.
Yeah, right. Well, I think when you register to vote, I think you have to attest you're a citizen under penalty of law or perjury or something like that. But I'm not sure. I don't know.
Who can challenge it, though?
Yeah. Yeah.
There needs to be something done that makes it, I don't know, somehow that you can prove things. It has to be maybe written on your driver's license. May vote in elections, may not vote in elections.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Add a line in there.
Well, that would certainly be an idea. Of course, not everyone has a driver's license, but you can get a Montana ID card.
Anybody can get an ID, and pretty much everybody. That whole thing of the poor people can't get a license.
I know. Yeah, crap. That's such crap.
And if you said that, there have been people that have done interviews, and they've said, well, we hear that people in the inner city can't get a driver's license, and they're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And the poor people have to have all that ID in order to get food stamps.
I'm gonna say you got to go to work. You got to get your freebies and stuff. Yeah.
So even if it's just the ID that doesn't give you the right to drive, you still need to have whether or not you're a citizen on it somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I would agree with that. I think
worth.
there ought to be some way. Yeah. What do they do in Canada, Shane? How do you prove you're a Canadian citizen in Canada?
Oh, you have to provide ID. You have to provide at least 2 picture IDs and have some kind of bill that you received that show the same address. So yeah, you have to show ID before you vote. But look, in polling stations, there's observers from both parties, and they can challenge any vote, both in your country and mine. So if they challenge and both vote opposite, so it's a tie, the person can't vote.
Right.
So that's the law in your country, mine too. But and it's like Clint saying, what are we going to do about it? You got to get more than 39% of the electorate out for these elections, city, county, and state. Otherwise, anyone can win.
All right. All right. Hey, thanks for the call. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, guys.
It. All right. Thank you. You too. Thanks. All right. Well, when we come back, Shane, we're almost at the bottom of the hour here.
There we go.
Let's see. What's our time? Where are we here? I don't know.
10 seconds to 8:28.
Yeah, that's where we are. When we come back, we've got a lot of people are upset about a new downtown proposal for another building. We've also got to talk about public schools. They're banning student protests. We got to talk about that. And Gianforte is going to send National Guard deployment to the Texas border. And the Montana Climate Office is warning about water shortages. We don't have enough rain or snow. So we got to be talking about all of those things when we come back in the last this next segment coming up at least. So stay tuned for that. A lot going on. And don't forget, it's Final Four weekend. The ladies are Sunday and the men are Monday night. See who the NAA's, I keep calling them NAACPs. I don't know why I do that, Shane. The NCAA, they're going to figure it out somehow or other, I guess. So, all right. That's going to wrap it up for this segment. We'll be back, though. Hey, in spite of your cards, letters, and phone calls, we are going to be back Saturday. It's April 6th, 2024, 29 after the hour. Don't go away. Welcome back, everyone. 27 minutes before the top of the hour. It's Saturday. It's April 6th, 2024. Tommy Gullop, your morning mayor in the house. Shane Montalban, half man, half amazing. Witness protection in Kamloops, Canada. And Shane, dozens of people showed up at a city commission meeting Tuesday night to push the city to stop a development proposal for Bozeman's Midtown area. The Guthrie building is proposed for the corner of North 5th Avenue and Village Street. It's going to be a 5-story, 111-unit building, and half the units are claimed to be affordable housing, and they'll be restricted to 80% of area median income, which in 2023 is $67,350 for a 2-person household. So there we are. So
well, it's an amazing thing. I watched a great program the other night about the history of skyscrapers, and 14 million buildings in your country over 8 stories.
Yeah.
And although they do claim that 10 stories is a skyscraper, the fact is vertical living in urban centers is what's created this massive economy and this massive consumer population. So I don't understand why people would have any complaint about something new. The Baxter's a beautiful building, but it's getting old, Thomas, like us.
Well, yeah. Well, I think at one time, we used to have like a 3-story limit because we've got mountains here, Shane. We got beautiful views and things like that I guess made people a little, hesitant about putting things up too tall, but we've got the Armory now. We've got the M building. In fact, if the M building was 1 foot closer to Mendenhall, you wouldn't be hearing me right now because the antenna is a line of sight to the dishes on top of the studio here. And you wouldn't be hearing KMMS. But yeah, it's well, all this development is driving people crazy, Shane. We had the one at Black and Olive. All the neighbors, they didn't want the people looking down in their backyards and all of that kind of stuff. And then, it seems like so many of the things that made Bozeman have left. We had Sylvester's downtown, Silent Night Mufflers gone. A lot of things have disappeared. The 4B's restaurant and, Perkins. So many things have changed in Bozeman that, those of us that have been here for a long time, we're looking around saying, wait a minute, are we becoming what, New York City or Billings or, we don't want that, so, but you can't stop progress, I guess, if somebody's got the money and want to put it up and they can do what they want on their land as long as the city commission goes along with it. I guess, you get what you get.
That's the way the game's played, buddy.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. According to project documents, the unit sizes are going to range from 371 square feet to 550, and that's mobile home size, Shane. And under the income limits, rent for the affordable units. Now, they would not exceed, Shane, $1,685 for a one-bedroom household. $1,600 a month for a one-bedroom household.
Wow.
So that seems a little pricey, but when you got $1 million homes hanging around here in Bozeman all the time, that maybe that's not unusual. So I don't know. It seems glad I own my place because I don't think I could afford 1648.
There you go.
So let's see. I'm doing the math here. That's $19,776 a year. Now that's a minimum wage job, 40 hours a week. 52 weeks a year. So. Wow.
Well, the Lord and the province of British Columbia have afforded me an 800 square foot home with a bedroom and a living room and a kitchen and a bathroom. So, and it's the cost of it's very, very reasonable, and so I'm blessed. I can only say I'm blessed. And to everyone else out there, I know how difficult it is. When I think of the number of homes and the number of times I moved in a lifetime, it's like a never-ending story.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people don't want this 5-story building, and it's going to have 39 parking places, and so it looks nice, beautiful building. It was in the Chronicle, picture of it. So it's, it's not a bad building, but man, I don't know. And it was, that sure seems like a lot of dough for a one bedroom. and you got to be making 80% of 67,000 to get in. So, or to some of the units, I guess. I'm assuming the poverty are going to be the 350 or 371 square feet. So,
fair assumption.
Yeah, I think. I don't know. Oh man, I don't know. It's a mess, Shane. There's a lot of development going on, and as I say, a lot of people have lived here for a long time and really love that small town feel. And at 50,000 people, we're half the size of Billings. Well, they're about 120, I think, or so. But I mean, you look around and. It's really hard to recognize those, particularly those people who grew up here. It's really hard to recognize Bozeman these days. It's
well, and people sometimes they take for granted you know, that the student population of the university is like over 20,000. So it's,
yeah,
you know, that adds to the whole issue, right?
Yeah. From our app chat line, AM 1450 KMMS on your smartphone, there's a lot of people that have a residence in Montana and vote in other states, and there's no way of double checking that. Yeah, it's unless you sign something that says you're violating the law. So I don't know. I don't know if I don't know, Shane. You worked in the United States, and I'm not sure. But anyway, there was a point in time where you had to sign a piece of paper that said you were not planning on overthrowing the United States government. We before we could be employed, we had to sign an affidavit swearing that we would not overthrow the United States of America.
Well, I never had that situation, but being a landed immigrant, I did have a green card, and I had to register, a card every year to maintain it, and it was on there. So I can admit that federally I had to say that I wasn't here for any devious reasoning.
Yeah. Well, you would think that from our app chat, or from our text line, rather, 406-478-8298, you would think that students that pay a non-resident or out-of-state tuition should not be able to vote here. So I guess if they're non-residents, when I went to college, I didn't consider myself a resident of that city. But
I know, but it's incredible because having started reminiscing now for the last 48 hours, this is a topic we've talked about for 14 years.
Yeah. What can I tell you? Let's see. Holy paranoia, Batman. Do you guys honestly believe that thousands of illegals are willing to commit a felony to register to vote to swing a local election? Talk radio.
Well, they've already committed a felony entering your country, invading your country. Why do they care?
Why stop now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want some fun? Google voted dead mother 2020. Guess what? Turns out it's mostly Trump voters who cheated. Well,
yeah, right. Sure.
I have two words for you. Chicago. All right. Not going there. Okay. Let's move on to something really fun. The Bozeman Public Schools. Yeah. A group of high school students are temporarily banned from the Wilson School. That's across, it used to be, it's sort of across from the courthouse, I guess, on downtown, the county courthouse. But anyway, that's the home of the school district office, and they apparently protested there. One of the students is a candidate for the upcoming school board election, and the district declined to comment on what would happen if she is elected in May while still barred from entering the boardroom in the Wilson School. So that'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Sorry, one of our board members can't come in.
Oh, no, they could probably Zoom. Zoom.
Well, Zooming is a little questionable with our city manager fiasco. So
that's right.
We don't want to see anybody abusing themselves or talking about getting a job somewhere else. So on February 26, students from the New Green Deal for Bozeman School District protested outside the building during district board meeting, and the rally was postponed was promoted on the group's Instagram page. The students demanded that the board and administration adopt sweeping climate change prevention policies, which they have been doing for nearly a year. So, got to have that climate change, Shane.
Yeah, I'm glad they're convinced to save the planet. Right, man's going to save the planet. But we saved the population because our generation had to feed it, remember? Kids starving all over the world and We helped. We helped. So anyone want to be blamed? The baby boomers, they're the ones that took the global population from 2.5 to 18 billion. There you go. We win.
Yeah. We win, you lose. Yeah. That's again. Oh my gosh. Let's see what else I got. The president, through fiscal policies, has a lot of influence on the economy, and that is why Republicans are so frustrated that this robust, record-setting economy. So, well, it may be record-setting somewhere, but I think a lot of people listening to us right now, when they get their grocery bill, when they pump gas at the gas station, gas is went over $3.50, on its way to $4. It's gone up probably 20-30 cents in March.
Well, clearly that texter doesn't have a car, and the family buys their groceries.
Yeah, apparently not. Yeah. Apparently they don't care. So
they don't know because they don't care.
There it is. All right. Well, Gianforte, guess what, Shane? He is going to send a National Guard soldiers to the border. Greg announced Tuesday that the state is deploying small number of Montana National Guard troops to the nation's southern border, describing the action as an effort to help the state of Texas police border cross-border drug trafficking in light of what he described as an inaction by the federal government. So there you are.
And not a big surprise.
Yeah.
That'll be like 8 states now that have done that.
Yeah. I don't know if you've seen the amount of razor wire they're putting up. You got to cross like a football field with the razor wire before you can get in the United States in some of these places. But it
looks like the DMZ between North and South Korea.
It does. Yeah. It's a shame that the government, I can't believe they're letting these people in thinking they're going to vote, or become citizens, or it's going to affect the economy. Every person that walks across that border, whether they're captured and, documented and released, or whether they're gotaways, they still got to be fed, housed, and we've seen the disaster of that some venues in New York City didn't have the attendance they thought they would have because all the hotels are full of migrants. So,
well, be careful for what you wish for. The demolition party seems to forget these people came from countries of capitalism and racism and communism with no jobs and no income and no economy and total corruption. So, don't expect them to vote Democrat. They're not going to. I just don't see them voting for what they ran from.
Yeah. Well, certainly we'll find out, I guess. But yeah, Abbott's got to be. Well, Abbott and DeSantis both. They didn't shut down during the COVID. They've been at the forefront of fighting the woke media. They've been at the forefront of defending their borders. If there's 2 governors that are doing the job, that should, they should be the poster children of good government, I guess.
Well, these newcomers, when they all get their first paycheck, it'll be like my children at 16 getting their first paycheck going, where's all these taxes? Yeah. What's going on here?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Anyway. So what about the immigration there in Canada, Shane? Is it they just crossing the border in record numbers, or they letting everybody in?
No, we're not accepting refugees, and immigrants have to follow and go through a legal process, like the 1.2 million people that come into the United States legally.
Yeah. Well, there we are. So I don't know.
But we're like every country, including you. We're having problems with population, and the demographics of population for the world aren't good. And 100 years from now, the population will be at least half of what it is now. So that's a big thing. Won't see it in my lifetime, but the baby boomers and the Zers, they're going to see it.
Yeah. Why would you get away when you can be processed and be legal for 10 years waiting for a court date? Well, there's two reasons. One is you're trafficking humans, would be one, and the other one is you're trafficking drugs. So.
And breaking the law.
Yeah, I'm breaking the law besides that. So. Who is hiring illegals? Who is renting to them? They can't collect welfare, and only a few stupid cities like New York City is giving them free stuff. So Abbott has been at the forefront of running an electrical grid. So what? the electrical grid isn't just Texas's problem. You want to talk about brownouts in California? Yeah. You want to go there?
We've talked about it, why it's a problem. Nothing in the 20 years you and 14 years me have put in. Yeah. No change. There've been no legislation and no discoveries or new ideas or new inventions to solve the biggest problem, the loss of 50% of electrical power by transmission. Direct current is not efficient, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah. If only we had a bill to regulate our border and limit refugees. Oh wait, Trump called his cult to kill the bill. He holds he needs the problem to exist for his political benefit. Let's dig down into that, Shane, a little bit, because last time I looked, the Senate isn't in Republican hands.
That's
correct. What do we have, a one-seat majority now that a couple people have left?
Well, I think it's 2 or 3 because 2 of them have decided to stay. But your point's well taken, and we'll see how this ends up. But it's a matter of policy and whether people that will vote on the 5th of November agree with the administration's policy in the Senate and the White House or not. No surprises here, Thomas.
Yeah. Well, Trump can pass everything he wants in the House, but he can't pass it in the Senate. So there's got to be a compromise there somewhere. And if Trump's killing a bill, it's not because he wants immigration to continue. It's because there's pork or something else in that plan. As we all know, what these 2,000-page bills and whatever, what you think Biden doesn't have some crap in there that's going to get some people reelected, and there's not a travel museum in some state that is a close Senate race, or he's not going to. There's not going to be stuff for swing states. There's not going to be some pork going in there.
Well, yeah, and the Biden administration's policy seems to have turned its back on Israel because they can't get a bipartisan agreement on continuing to fund Ukraine and the pensions and the salaries of the government, because the country is, has no income. It's in war, and there's no way for them to provide for these people. So it's one of these things that we talk about, which has been a good thing, so people know this. But this over Ukraine, all this is Biden's position over Ukraine.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about the Ukraine deal. I have a problem with us dictating to any country what they should do.
Oh, like Israel?
Yeah, like Israel. Yeah. Why are people demonstrating here against Biden as though Biden could wave a magic wand and make a ceasefire over there? How's that work?
Well, it's political policy, so he maintains that 100,000 vote in Wisconsin and Michigan. I mean, that's how razor close the election there is. All for votes, buddy, just like the student vote with deciding to cancel debt. I still want a Social Security check from Biden. I want him to get to the microphone and say once again, I did that.
Yeah, right.
Because we should get another bonus check. just for being here and being able to vote. Well, for you.
I was going to say, just for putting up with him for 4 years, we should get some kind of a bonus or something. So, from our text line, can the Montana legislature pass a bill that forces Supreme Court candidates to run with party affiliation? Well, supposedly you're not supposed to have a party affiliation when you run as a judge. But I agree. I think, it's obvious. All you have to do is look at the Supreme Court and some of their decisions, and from the dissent who's liberal and who's conservative. I mean,
obviously, yeah.
Their writings make it obvious as hell. So I agree with the texter. I think, there's two things. One, I've always believed that Supreme Court justices shouldn't be a 50-51 vote. It should be a 60-vote majority. You got to compromise on these guys guys and gals, because they are, they're making law and setting precedent for all kinds of laws. And I think you can't have people in there, depending on who controls the Senate at the time. There's got to be bipartisan for Supreme Court. And I wouldn't oppose that in Montana as well. But I do agree that I think they should make their affiliation known. So, all right.
Because all right. Oh, we're out of time. Look.
Yeah, watch your clock.
It just turned.
I know.
7:04.
All right, it's Saturday. It's April 6th, 2024. It's Final Four weekend, and a lot going on. And we've got to talk about a lot of other stuff. So stay tuned. A lot more coming from Tom and Shane right after the news. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. It is Saturday. It's April 6th, 2024, 7 minutes after the hour of 10 a.m. Tommy Galop, your morning mayor in the house. Shane Matobin, half man, half amazing in Kamloops, Canada. And Shane, we've got a text, 406-478-8298. What's the number of illegals that have come through since 2020? Well, I went over to Perplexity AI for the answer. And in the fiscal year 2020, the U.S. Customs and Border Protection reported 405,000 encounters with migrants attempting to enter the country illegally. The number of illegal border crossings surged in the following years, with 2021 seeing 1.9 million, and the fiscal year 2022 set a record with 2.2 million. And for the fiscal year 2023, crossings hit a record high, surpassing the numbers from the previous year, although the exact figure was not specified from the provided sources. So between February 21 and October, the specific year was not mentioned, but it can be inferred that be a recent record given the context. So the Department of Homeland Security shows 6.5 million encounters at the U.S.-Mexico border. This figure includes both apprehensions between legal ports of entry and those processed at the ports themselves. So there you go, Shane.
Well, with getaways, I'd say it's close to 20 million, wouldn't you?
Well, for years, everybody floated the number. There's 11 million illegals, up until Biden, and all of a sudden, all these caravans start showing up. Because Biden said, I'm not going to deport anybody in my first 100 days. So, hey, open season on America. You get in, you're not getting out. So, let's take a phone call. 406-522-TALK is the number, 406-522-8255. Caller, you're on with Tom and Shane. What's up?
Well, what is the largest industry in the state of Montana?
Healthcare, education.
It's not agriculture, farming, and ranching?
Agriculture would be up there, certainly. Yeah.
What about tourism? Where do you think it falls?
Tourism is up there as well.
Okay. So all the ranchers and farmers, probably the largest landowners in the state, right?
Yep.
Outside of the government. So you think that property tax, they should be paying all the property taxes, and all the tourists that come in here shouldn't have to pay anything?
What do you mean?
They get all the services.
The population of Montana, you mean?
No, of all the tourists
the
that come in here.
The newbies.
Just come in, even if it's for a day or a week or.
Oh, the tourism, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, for years we've thought about a sales tax for out-of-staters, but there again, for example, when I travel, I can show my ID, my Montana ID, at a gift shop, and they don't charge me sales tax.
Well, I think it should be a sales tax for everybody and a property tax for nobody. Just have one, not both.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that's what everybody says. If you want to get rid of a tax, either the income tax or the property tax, you got to get rid of one of them if we're going to pay the other one. The main argument is a sales tax is a penalty for the poor, because even buying essentials. Now, not everything is taxable at the grocery store, like diapers and baby food and things like that, medications and some of those things.
If you own any kind of property, you're just renting it from the government, and that's a penalty on them.
You are.
So they're getting penalized.
Yep. Everybody in the United States pays lot rent.
Yeah.
That's why I said if we could abolish a property tax where you could actually own your own property in Montana, man, you would see an influx of people coming here like you wouldn't believe.
Well, there's no state at all that doesn't have a property tax, is what you're saying.
Not that I'm aware of.
Well, there's some states that don't have
property tax.
Don't have a
North Dakota or South Dakota, and there's no property tax in Florida.
Oh, you don't think so, huh?
I believe so.
There's a few states that don't have any sales tax.
Right. Yeah, we're one of those. I'm gonna look that up.
I think we should have a sales tax instead of a property tax.
Well, you get my vote on that. Let's see. There are no states without property tax, and there are a few things that real estate investors can do to help keep the assessed value of their property down. Yeah.
New people are coming. The people that a lot of people come in buying property are buying it sight unseen, and a lot more than people are even trying to sell it for, and raising the property tax, which raises their tax, or property values, which raises the taxes.
We're
getting higher rent from the government and getting penalized for doing good.
Yeah. Hawaii has the lowest property tax in the U.S. at 0.29%. Alabama is generally one of the more affordable states in the country. Colorado has the third lowest property tax rate at 0.51, and Nevada has the fourth lowest rate at 0.55. But there are no states where property tax is not opposed. Every person in America pays lot rent to live in the United States.
Well, not in Bozeman if you live on the side of the street.
Well, that's true. I think we should put parking meters on these areas where these people park. You got to put a quarter in every 2 hours or so.
Well, we don't have it in Belgrade because we don't let them do it in Belgrade.
Yeah, they passed an ordinance over there. So, we're too woke left wing over here to do something as disastrous as that. Oh my God.
Yeah, they paint their sidewalks rainbow.
Oh yeah. There you go. Hey, thanks for the call, man. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. All right, bye-bye. Caller, you're on with Tom and Shane. What's up? Let's try here. Whoops. Oh, let's try there. No. I'm sorry. I'm trying. I'm trying to get you. Love these phone lines. What do you think, Shane?
Yeah. They're uninterrupted.
I think we got him. Thanks so much for trying. Hey, you're on with Tom and Shane.
I got something on my chest I really, really need to get off.
All right.
And it has to do with the proper nomenclature for this. LGBTQ business.
Yes,
plus.
sure.
And I realize that there's a whole bunch of letters that people want to leave off just in the interest of efficiency and saving time talking. But there's 8 letters that really, really need to go with that. And it's LGBTQ plus BULLSHIT. And I want that to stay on there.
Okay.
I want everybody to start using that like it's supposed to be.
All right.
That's the end of my rant.
All right, man. Thanks for the call. All right. Appreciate it. Let's see. See if I can get another call in here. Caller, you're on with Tom and Shane. What's going on?
Well, what's going on with you guys?
Well, we'll tell you in the 10:30 half hour.
My husband said this is going to be your last show.
Well, I'll tell you about it in the last half hour.
Yeah.
15 minutes from now. So.
We don't want you guys going off.
Well, I'm not leaving radio. Just we'll talk about it at the bottom of the hour.
Okay.
All right. Stay tuned.
Bye-bye.
All right. Thanks. All right. Phone calls done. Let's see, Shane. The folks that want to get rid of property tax the most are people moving here. Well, yeah, isn't that what I just said, Shane? That if we didn't have a property tax, people would move here in droves. Because you could actually own your own property, but nowhere in the United States, if you don't pay the taxes, you're out on the street, Shane. Not a single state in the union doesn't have property taxes. So, whew.
Got to build schools.
Yeah, I guess. Sales tax is a fair tax, especially if it's done like other states. Food and clothing is excluded. Consumption tax is fair. Yeah, I'm not totally opposed to a sales tax if it's done correctly. Where it doesn't affect families and. Because if you got mom and dad and a couple of kids, your grocery bill is off the charts. So, as I said before, if you do something like exempt medicines and clothing, baby food, diapers, things like that, because then a sales tax will make you think, do I want to spend this money? And if that happens, then the economy suffers somewhat. If I decide, I'm not going to pay that because I don't want to pay an extra 4% or, I'll tell you, it'll start at 4% and it'll be 8% in a couple of years. I've been in sales tax states, and trust me, they have no problem raising them. And the big city, internal people will, they'll say, we'll give you another free thing off your sales tax, and boom, they're voting for it. So
that's true. It never goes away. It just goes up just a notch. They call it a notch.
Yeah. All right. Well, Montana climate change. They're talking about Montana climate warned this week that historically low snow levels mean water shortages this year in several river basins, even with upcoming snow in the forecast. We're supposed to get some snow today, 1 to 3 inches. I haven't looked outside for a while. I'm not sure if it's snowing or not. Rained yesterday evening, but don't know about the snow. But we could sure use it. The University of Montana said people aren't wrong when they say there's another 4 weeks of the traditional snow season, but modeling shows snowpack will not be normal regardless. So obviously, yeah, it's November, snow on the way, of course. Why not?
April.
Yeah. Somewhere in there at least, so I don't know. Let's take another phone call. 406-522-TALK is the number. Caller, you're on with Tom and Shane. What's going on? Hello. Let's try here. Caller, you're on with Tom and Shane.
Hi.
Hi.
This is Christy in Belgrade.
Hi, Christy.
I'd like to talk about our taxes.
Okay, go for it.
Well, on the property tax site, there's actually a place to do a comparison on your taxes. And, you know, ours was increased so much. And just talking about the state or our local school tax, it went up $640 for our little home this last year, is how much more we're giving our local school.
Yeah.
And so I always want to know what they're spending that on. Are they just increasing the budget? You know, and it's just, you know, so they can't say it didn't go up. The county did try very, very hard to lower the taxes, and the county itself.
Yes.
They lowered it by 118 mill levy.
Yeah, the state said you had to collect 94, and they collected 77. So the state is sending out their.
No. That's for. Then that is a whole different story.
Oh, okay.
That 95 mil.
Yeah.
That they finally sent another extra.
Right.
$120.
Mm-hmm.
That one there. That went up 91% on my bill.
Yeah.
And it went from $284 for equalization for the state to go back to smaller or bigger schools, depending.
Mm-hmm.
And it went from $284, it went up $378 to $663.
Wow.
So, what are they doing with
Yeah.
this money?
Well, I wish I knew. They claim the majority of it. Well, it goes to school, a certain percentage of it, but also a lot of it goes back to the state for various state stuff. So
the black hole, we call it.
Yeah, that's where it goes. It goes somewhere. We don't know where.
Yeah, you don't need to look for a black hole in the universe. You've got one here in every government.
Yeah.
You know, they're just making the weirdest rules, and it just goes on and on.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
This tax stuff is why, you know, you can say it's really affected us in this particular market.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's because of valuations.
Oh, no question. We've seen the prices in Belgrade and Bozeman rise precipitously.
Well, our real estate was valued at $381,000 in 2022. 2023 is $677,000. Wow. So, you know, the governor didn't react well at all to this. Everybody knew that there was a solution, and he didn't do it. And you know, it's changing that multiple. There's a multiple on that for the valuation, and they could change that big time, and they didn't.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's a reason for why people are pretty upset, and there's no accountability to the schools. You know, you've seen in Three Forks, they're requesting more money to run their schools, even though we had this huge property adjustment.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Well, I wish I knew. I wish I had the answer for you, but I don't. I would encourage you, I guess, to talk to the county commissioners, and you know they have open meetings from time to time, and you can certainly go in and ask them what's going on. But other than that, I'm not sure how to help you.
The county commissioners are actually the ones that actually responded, and nobody else has.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can get in their face and ask them, you know, how do you justify this? Because we're out here paying, you know, way more than, you know, it's a real sticker shock when your taxes double or more.
Yeah. There's one line, it went up because it went up 13,744%.
Wow. Ouch.
It's a high school tuition.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're just not responding to the people at all.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks so much. I appreciate you. Thanks for listening. All right. Well, Tony Bobulinski, Shane, a former associate of Hunter Biden, filed a $30 million defamation lawsuit against Fox News host Jessica Tarlov over comments about his legal fees, which she corrected a day later. So we got another lawsuit going on at at Fox. What's new?
Nothing other than they'll settle.
Move along. Nothing to see here.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's take another phone call. 406-522-TALK is the number. Caller, you're on with Tom and Shane. What's going on?
All right. There's only one way, and I mean one way, I will ever agree to a sales tax in Montana.
Okay.
And it kind of comes from the fact that I've seen it in other states where they don't tax food and things like that.
Yeah.
If you're going to cut them a break on the food, on the sales tax, then we need a mandatory fatness tax. If you're 5% over your supposed body weight should be to be healthy, then you pay 5% extra on everything you consume that's food.
There you go.
End of story. If you're 300 pounds and you're supposed to be 200, you're paying an extra 50% on every single thing you stuff your fat face with. It would solve so many health issues, which would in turn lower our health care costs, especially as we all get older. And if you haven't noticed, a lot of fucking people in this valley are getting really old really quick. Have a good day, guys.
All right. Thanks for the call. Yeah. Yeah, we'll put a scale at the checkout there, Shane. The rest of the conveyor belt,
right.
You step on there and it talks to the cashier and says, "Hey, no livestock allowed." Oh man, I don't know.
In the afternoons, occasionally I watch Family Feud. I think it's a great show. I like it.
I like Family Feud. Yeah.
But the thing that amazes me, Tom, is the obese people on it. I mean,
yeah.
I weigh 160, 61 pounds.
Yeah.
And the women weigh over 200 pounds.
Yeah.
It really amazes me.
Yeah, but you're only 4'9".
Yeah, I'm a leprechaun.
You look like an aerial photo of a human being.
Especially when I stick my tongue out.
That's it.
I look like a zipper.
Yeah, that's it. Well, Democrats seek boost from abortion ballot measures in the key battleground states, and this is what we're talking about, Shane. Getting the battleground states. Arizona, Trump's up 4 points. Georgia, he's up 4 points. Michigan up 4 points. Pennsylvania, Biden is up 1 point there. And Democrats see efforts to get abortion on the ballot in key battleground states across the country as a way to boost turnout and energize their base amid signs of low voter enthusiasm for this year's presidential race. All right, time's up on this segment. We will be back, so stay tuned. A lot more Tom and Shane on the way. Hey, we got Final Four weekend is going on. Got the ladies play tomorrow for the championship, and the men play on Monday night for the championship. So it's going to be a fun-filled weekend if you're a basketball fan. So Shane and I will return right after the news. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. It's 27 minutes before the top of the hour. It's Saturday. It's April 6th, 2024. And yes, this will be our last Saturday show. I've been offered a position with another radio station. It's an offer I can't refuse because they're paying. So I don't think I want to pass that up. I can't talk about where I'm going or what I'm going to be doing because of contractual things. But the way to find out, I own the text line, 406-478-8298. I own that. So that'll be leaving with me. So you can certainly text me there anytime, any 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I can fill you in on what's going to happen. And also my email address, radiotom@montana.com. Radiotom@montana.com is the best way to reach me. Also, before they shut it down, our past shows are on KMMSAM.com. Click on Tom and Shane's podcast. Go over there and bookmark that, because Shane and I, depending on what my time commitment is at my new position, we'll be doing some podcasts probably, I would think, in the near future. So we want to make everybody aware of that. This is really tough to do for me. 20 years I've been sitting here. 20 years you guys have been with me, and it's tough. Shane? No Shane? All right. Well,
I'm talking to you.
Okay. I couldn't hear you. I was breaking up there for a minute. So, yeah, it's been a long ride, man. You've been with me all the way, or most of the way anyway, and I really appreciate your friendship and commitment to doing what we do every week. So you're a great friend, and hopefully we can rejoin somewhere in the future. The plan is to do that 5 days a week down the road. So we'll see if we can't get that done as quickly as possible. So, but it's not up to me. But so anyway, your thoughts, Shane? I guess
you own that.
Okay. I guess you were off Skype. I'm sorry. So I got you on the phone. Go.
No, I'm not off Skype.
Okay.
I can see you, but I was asking you about the library of shows.
Yeah, they're all at our they're all online. So I also own that. So
online at YouTube, you mean, or?
Well, you can go to YouTube, or you can go to KMMSAM.com, click on Tom and Shane's podcast, and that'll take you over to where the podcasts are, and then bookmark that, because they'll more than likely will be absent from the website once after today.
I see. Okay, good. I just like something to give to my grandchildren.
Yeah. 900 episodes, 15,000 downloads. So you don't have to be without us. You can listen to replays. 900 shows are over there. So you can do that.
There you go.
Yeah. But yeah, this is really tough because, through thick and thin here, I've managed to stay here through 5 ownerships, and I don't know, filled in whenever needed and whatever, and work for free, and I don't know. It's I always thought Bozeman needed a local voice, whether you like the voice or not. There needs to be a place you can go and vent, or make your thoughts heard. So let's take a phone call. 406-522-TALK is the number. Caller, you're on with Tom and Shane. What's up?
Hey, remember you guys were talking about taking a bus ride up to Yellowstone?
Yeah.
Are you still going to do that?
Well, that may be in the future, depending on how I land and where. We may. The cost of a bus I looked into is about $3,000, so it's not. So it's I don't know about a car caravan going up there or what, but perhaps in the as I say, I'm starting a new venture, so what the opportunities will be for that in the future, again, radiotom@montana.com, or the text line 406-478-8298, and we'll keep everybody up to speed on what we're doing and where we are and all that.
And for those of you that are interested, my email address, lowercase, Shane Montalvin at gmail.com. Yeah. ShaneMontalban
There you go.
@gmail.com.
Yeah.
And Tom, I will take you one day to Yellowstone on an electric flying vehicle.
Oh, yeah, right. That'll be the day.
Okay. We love you guys.
Well, thanks so much. We appreciate you so much. We've been an institution here for a long time, and I know a lot of people, start their day with us on Saturday. People at work, all the snowplow people out there clearing snow in the wintertime, and people walking their dogs or taking the kids to soccer or whatever they're doing. We can't tell you how appreciative I am.
It's been a remarkable run, and our calls have been good. We've been right about 85% of the time. So what an opportunity.
Yeah.
Thank you, Thomas Eaglehoff.
Glad to do it, Shane. Let's take another phone call. 406-522-TALK is the number. Caller, you're on with Tom and Shane. What's up?
Hey, it's AW here.
Hey.
Hey, I don't know if I should be sad or happy for your new job or what, but that was touching. I could hear the love you have for what you do in your last statement there. Almost brought me to tears, damn it. But I think I can speak for most people that listen to you every weekend like I do for however many years. But we love you. We love both of you. We appreciate what you've given us for the past however many years now. But we wish you well in whatever your new endeavors are, and I hope this won't be the last time we hear you on the radio. Probably not, I guess.
It won't be.
Yeah,
I'm not leaving the radio, just going to a different radio.
Understood. But I liked what you said. Bozeman needs a voice, and I hope that you continue to be the voice for us. We really appreciate what you've done for our little town.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much. I appreciate that.
You're welcome, sir.
All right. Take care. Yeah. Caller, you're on with Tom and Shane. What's going on? Okay, let's try here. Caller, you're on with Tom and Shane.
Yeah, so I just came in late. So you're going to be signing off here soon and not on the street?
Yeah, I'm leaving KMMS. I'm going to a competing radio station that I can't mention on the air because of contractual stuff. But
it's local?
Yes, it will be. Yeah, it's local. And
what time?
Well, tentatively, I don't know for sure yet. We just finalized everything a couple of days ago. But keep my email address, radiotom@montana.com, radiotom@montana.com. Or the text line is mine, so 478-8298, that's also available. So, if you want to find out what's going on, I can do more detail off the air, obviously, than I can on the air.
Well, sounds good. Well, we'll be waiting to hear from you, Tom.
All right, appreciate
it. We love you out here in Radio Land. It's been many great years. And you also, Shane's been a great, informative show. Love listening to it every Saturday. May not call in all the time, but I'm always got my ears on. So
all right.
It's been great.
All right, great. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. All right. 406-522-TALK is the number. Caller, you're on with Tom and Shane. What's going on?
Hi, this is Bobette, the transgendered love bucket.
All right.
Long time listener, and still keep in touch. And sorry to hear that news. So just keep it short.
Yeah, go ahead.
Keep it short. I'll sign off with my normal buckets of love on you, and that includes Jerry, Clint, the old one, George, Dean, Tammy, Kate, Julie, Dominic, Debbie, Pete, Steve, Vinny, right on, and all the callers and texters and listeners.
All
buckets
right.
of love from everybody, except for Kevin.
Yeah.
He gets.
What about me?
I said Shane and
Yeah,
Danny.
he said Shane.
Oh, did he? I didn't.
Yeah. Well, you're old. Your hearing's going.
So bucket of love for everybody except Kevin. He gets a half a bucket of love and half a bucket of Lumi deodorant.
All right.
Nachos, via con Dios.
Thanks much. All right. Appreciate it. Caller, you're on with Tom and Shane. What's going on?
Well, this is the first time I've called in, but we listen every Saturday. It's messing up our routine here. That you're gonna leave. My husband, the first thing he does is turn on Tom and Shane on Saturday.
Geez.
So I get to listen too, and we have really appreciated what you've shared. Truth, keep us informed. We will miss it terribly. And I missed your phone number, so I wanted to get your phone number, Tom. What is Shane going to do?
Well, he's gonna stay with me. We're in the process of trying to get something going 5 days a week, but like most things, these don't always happen immediately. But our text line is 406-478-8298, and my email
478-8298.
Yeah.
Okay, 478-8298.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, 406. And my email is radiotom@montana.com. Radiotom@montana.com. So.
Yeah, I think I got that.
Yeah.
But we wish you well, Tom. And again, us people, Montana people, appreciate you, and others too. Thanks for sharing.
I always appreciate you guys. Thanks for starting your day with me. It's been a pleasure doing it. So. Thank you.
We have to figure out something else to do Saturday morning now. I don't know what that's
Well, you can listen to the replays. Go to KMMSAM.com and go bookmark where the downloads are. We're also on, look up Tom and Shane on YouTube, and we've got some podcasts there. And depending on my availability, Shane and I will be doing podcasts on Facebook and YouTube and wherever. So hopefully we'll have those for you. All right. Thanks so much.
And the best to both of you.
Thank you much. All right. Caller, you're on with Tom and Shane. What's up? Okay. Not there. All right. All right, Shane. What are your thoughts? Kind of sprung this on you a couple days before the show. So.
Well, yeah, it was a bit overwhelming, of course, but not unexpected. We're both getting to an age where, 20 years for you, 14 years for me. I'm just happy that everybody got an opportunity to thank us and for us to have an opportunity to say goodbye to everyone.
Yeah.
The callers, the texters, the messengers, they've all made the show real, and they've made it a possibility to learn things and discuss things that no one hears anywhere else.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we can keep doing that in the future. As I say, we're going to make a valiant effort to try to do podcasts and things like that we can make available to people. And, as I say, my email, tommail@montana.com, or the text line at 406-478-8298. Let's take another call.
And I want to thank all the phone callers, because the phone callers smashed the record today.
There you go. All right. Caller, you're on with Tom and Shane. What's going on?
Well, a very sad day to hear this.
Yeah. Us too.
Shame on them for not paying you.
I know.
Well, that's true. And are you going to be on the air in Livingston area?
I'm not sure what I can't talk a lot about the station I'm going to, but I will try and find out. I would assume we'll be in Livingston. As I said, my email is radiotom@montana.com, radiotom@montana.com. And you can email me, or I can if you want to send me your email address, then I can let you know when I'm on the air and where and what I'm doing. So.
I know you have a lot of listeners in this area.
Yeah. No, I know we do. That's what makes this so hard.
Yeah.
But
it's a sad day.
Yeah. Yeah, for us too. All right. Thanks so much. Yeah. I thought hard and long about leaving, but there's no future here. They're not going to put us back on Monday through Friday. So I need to go somewhere where we can do that, because I believe Bozeman deserves, some kind of a morning show voice, and I hope we can make that happen somewhere down the road so we can be with you every day. Let's take another call, 406-522-TALK. Caller, you're on with Tom and Shane. What's up?
What's up?
Yeah.
What's up?
Move along. Nothing to see here.
That's right. Well, I just wanted to welcome you to the family, Tom.
Yeah. Oh, it's the voice of whatever. Hey, be careful. You can't say too much,
I know. I can't say much. Contractual things like that and all, but yeah, you will be probably reaching Livingston, no problem.
Okay. Yeah, for the benefit of people that don't know, Dan on the phone, he's the one who is the Swiss Army knives. He's our announcer on the show. So you're out of a job, man.
Yeah, I know. Well, hey, I might be able to do something in the future.
Well, let's hope so. Yeah. Lord knows I need a lot of help.
I'm already looking at sponsors to get you to Yellowstone.
All right. There you go. Now we're talking.
Yeah. Brought to you by Cart Stage.
There you are.
Yeah.
Hey, Dan, thanks so much for your support and helping us out all these years and everything you've done for us. So we appreciate it.
Yep. I appreciate doing it, and glad that you're going to be landing on your feet.
Amen.
Dan, thank you. Nice radio voice.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you, Shane. I appreciate that.
Yeah, Dan's been our voice ever since we started, through the start on Saturdays, and then we went to every day for a year, and then, so.
It's been awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I will see you.
All right, man. Thanks so much. Take care. All right. Well, yeah, it's, I didn't want to dwell on this the whole show, so that's why I kind of waited till the end of the show to do it. But yeah, we really appreciate all you folks out there so much for supporting Shane and myself. That we know radio is well, it's a double-edged sword, you're too conservative, hey, you're too liberal, you're this, you're that. And I think Shane and I have tried to walk a thin line, not to offend anyone, but to be informative as we can. And we've always been able to back up what we say on the air, because, we prepare the show with sources. And we put those on our text line, or on our replays at. Let me give you the replay address in case anybody forgets. If my cursor's not.
Well, Tom's looking that up.
Yeah.
I'd like to say that my grandmother, Doris Kelly DeWan, taught me how to read at 5. And I discovered the world by opening books. That's what she said. You can go anywhere in the world with a book. Now in the 21st century, with social media and radio and television, you have an opportunity of 2 individuals who have made every effort to provide you new and interesting stories and information about science, technology, medicine, economics, everything that makes the 21st century so special. So thank you to you all. You've been very patient with us, and we appreciate it.
Amen to that. Yeah. Yeah, it's been a long ride. I've been there 20 years, and as I mentioned, through thick and thin, a lot of folks, at the head, had the fact that I've been here through all these changes certainly it's a miracle, I guess. So,
well, I've tried to be there with you,
and you have been, yeah. Okay, let's see.
By the way, I looked it up.
Yeah.
In 14 years, I missed 5 shows.
Oh yeah. All right. Wow, good for you. Yeah, all of our podcasts, our previous shows, 924 shows, 15,100 downloads of our shows. You can always have Tom and Shane with no news, no music, just Tom and Shane and callers. And that's at Tom Egelhoff, EGELHOFF, .podbean, PODBEAN.com, TomEgelhoff.podbean.com. And that'll take you over to all of our shows. So if you want to wean yourself off of us being gone on Saturday morning, you can go to the replays and listen to our shows there. They're commercial free. There's no PSAs or the same old commercials over and over. It's just Tom and Shane on the air. And we'll put this one up as well when the show's over, so as a sort of a goodbye tribute. And again, TomEgelhoff.podbean.com, radiotom@montana.com for email, and our text line is 478-8298. So let's take another call. Caller, you're on with Tom and Shane. What's going on?
Hey, Tom and Shane. It's Jen in Bozeman. I just want to thank you both for being there through COVID, through my interstate travels, Livingston, the Pass, the Canyon, middle of winter. You were an inspiration. I felt safe with you guys, like I was riding along with my brothers. I just want to say as well that what a great blend the both of you make.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much.
Let us know how we can stay in touch and follow you.
Oh, yeah.
And what a great gift. So, the last words that Shane says at the end of every show,
yeah,
I sort of adopted that, and I say that to others, and they just give me a look twice, and that means something too, Shane. So I'm paying it forward for you.
All right.
You're welcome.
All right.
God bless you, darling. I love you.
Gotta go. Thanks for the call. All right, Shane, real quick, goodbye.
Always
got 40
forever.
seconds.
So be happy, be safe, live in the moment, live to work, and remember, we live in the 2 best country clubs in the world. So everyone, this has been a real pleasure with 2 guys that thought we would try and make a difference in the world, and I think we did.
No.
So you all are blessed by the Lord, our God, and thank you very much. I hope we hear from you.
All right. RadioTomMontana.com. Our text line 478-8298. And Tom Egelhoff at .podbean.com. And for the very last time, I am out of here.